Hello, it's Marina from the Butterfly Effect. This is the weekly reading, week beginning 17th of December for my fire signs, Leo, Sagittarius and Aries, with male and female clarifiers. I'm going to kick off with Leo. Okay, Leo, this is the Moss Spirit. This is compulsion, it's an addiction, it's been intoxicated by a potential relationship, a certain someone, an opportunity. It's kind of going over the edge here, whatever it is, Leo. This is real excess. It can be overworking, overeating, certain vices, but it's a fire that burns too hot. In the main, it is addiction. Now, for my females, I think this is with regards to a Knight of Coins in reverse here. That you are actually breaking free from in my Temperance card, or trying to keep things on a balance. This is somebody who really has come through as a child of the divine, and in his shadow attribute is unable to defend himself against negative forces. This is someone that just basically has no self-control, whatever this addiction is, and I think it is to third-party relationships. They just can't control themselves. And here you are here for my female Leo with Temperance, but I do see this as breaking free. If you look at how I view it anyway, she's got all the red coming out on this side, this cup going into the white, and this is the red here, and she's, you know, moving away from this. She's soaring upwards and freeing herself. It sort of reminds me of my Lease of the Shadow cards and my Fairy Oracle deck. I think you're just moving on from this. I think you can see that this person has a lot of addictions, a lot of issues, and you're not wanting to engage. I've asked about the Knight of Coins. He's come up with the Three of Cups. As I say, I think this is someone who likes to, you know, have a lot of people on the burn. And with the Empress card in reverse and the Judgment card in reverse, I think this is my Leo feminine's energy here. It's just a complete no-go. Exit stage left for my Empress, taking back her own abundance. There's no forgiveness, there's no second chances, there's no resurrections here. This guy has got real problems with addictions, and I just feel you're not entertaining it anymore. And with that, the card that came through for the week is Artemis of the Forest, which is you are now independent and free. I'll read you a little bit from here. There we go. It is time for you to go back to basics for a time, to test yourself against nature's demands, to go without the luxuries and the support you believe you need to survive. You are about to discover you can take care of yourself and yet remain as true as the hound, as gentle and alert as the deer, and as wild and free as Artemis herself. You must take up the silver arrows and silver bow of the huntress, keep them clean and sharp, waste nothing, and watch to know what to do next. Your senses, wiles, and knowledge of the forest will keep you alive at this time. You must address the very fundamental things of your life, look at who or what provides them, and take steps to cultivate those relationships. Water, food, shelter, healing. You will become the huntress for a time, and this is an empowering, liberating thing. Once this is done, you shall be protected and cared for by the perfect protector and provider, who is inspired and delighted by your independence and strength. Yeah, I think this is just about going out alone and having the confidence to do that. This is for all my fire signs this week. So if you have some codependency issues or concerns that you can't financially support yourself or emotionally support yourself, this is suggesting that's exactly what needs to be done. Is get back to basics, deal with the absolute essentials, and know that you can go alone, and not to feel that you're bound to something unhealthy. Break free. This is for my Leo female, certainly. For my Leo male, I have got the Fool. He came through in his shadow attributes. This to me is a bit of this is a jester, obviously. I would normally see this as a new beginning, something positive. I really don't, I'll be honest. Not with the Moth Spirit here. I think this is someone who's your addiction might be basically to go from 0 to 21 here, because I've gone from the Fool, which is the beginning of the major arcana journey, straight to the world. So it's like, you know, 0 to 21 in, you know, 0.3 of a second. It's erratic behavior. It's not you know, taking the time to smell the flowers and pick up the knowledge and lessons that you need to through the journey of the major arcana. Is what it's just wanting is slap, shoddy and rushed and ill-considered. This is somebody who has excessive feelings of entitlement, who basically has certain almost delusions of grandeur here. Probably thinks, and I am addressing my Leo males here directly, sorry if this is not you, this could be whoever you're dealing with this week, you understand? It's also somebody who's got an inability to grow up and be responsible. They've got dependency on others for physical security. So I feel kind of a real hothead of an individual. The moth spirit can be like a real fire that burns too hot. This is somebody who will go off in massive tangents and just rip shit up and go, as I say, from 0 to 21, having learned nothing in the process. They're making a decision here with the Two of Wands in the world as to what direction to take. And I do have a Queen of Pentacles come through sideways. This is usually the wife, the mother of your children. She's sideways, she's non-committal. You're not sure, you know, whether she's in or whether she's out, whether you want her to be in, whether you want her to be out. But the same message comes through that you're independent and free. And I think this is a time when you need to exercise your own independence and freedom. And seriously, with Leo males here, you need to slow the hell down. 0 to 21 with the moth spirit here, whilst learning nothing. It's almost like, you know, you're driving down the motorway and you have a mad notion to shut your eyes for 3 seconds. That's honestly what it feels like. It feels mental. It feels like mental energy, as in, you know, crazy loon stuff with this jester fool. You know, this is the sort of person who thinks something is hilarious and then somebody dies. You know what I'm saying? It really is very, very erratic. So unsurprising that the Queen is maybe sideways here. As I say, Leo, this doesn't need to be you. This could be someone you're dealing with this week. It doesn't need to be a masculine, but the Fool does you know, depict a masculine here. So my females, you're fine. You're not entertaining this person anymore. I think you've got their number, and you're off out into the ethers here. My masculine's definitely more of an issue. You need to slow down and get grounded, and you know, maybe even grow the fuck up, to be perfectly honest. And as I say, if it's not you, it's who you're dealing with, so, you know, don't at me. And for my Sagittarius, this is really lovely for my Sagittarian females. Hallelujah, we got a good one. My Wombat spirit is be at home. This is just getting all sort of snuggly and remaining safe and burrowing down for the week, and being really comfortable in your own skin, putting the fire on, putting your Christmas lights up, you know, making a wee hot toddy and a mince pie. It's really, really lovely energy. You may have your children around you. Page of Cups here and the Seven of Cups. Look at this Seven of Cups in this new deck of mine. Isn't it glorious? I love it. I just sort of see this as maybe your kids coming home from college and university, you know, for the Christmas holidays. Seems like an awful lot of abundance and warmth here. It's just really lovely. The only other way I could view that is that, you know, somebody does want to approach you with a warm offer, but and you have got a lot of options at the minute, Sagittarius females. You may be considering your options, but yeah, overall it's just a really sweet week for you. Sagittarius is probably one of my signs that's got the best readings more or less this year. It just sort of sticks in my mind that the bulk of your readings have been very good. I think you have a Jupiter in your sign for all of the year, and it's now moving to Capricorn. Okay, and Sagittarius males, I have got Justice upright and the 5. Is it the 5? Yes, the 5 of Swords in reverse here. So this just feels like nobody's fighting over this situation anymore. You may have had issues with a Libra, and you're putting down your swords now. You're backing away from the situation. Either that it's been won, it could be that it's been successful with the Five of Swords in reverse. But I sort of feel that something's not quite over here. Take a wee bit more on that actually. Thought I had done. Why is the Justice card here for Sagittarius males? Clarify justice for Sagittarius males. Clarify justice. That's sideways. That's the solar plexus again. So this has been very determined, very focused, very confident on whatever this justice system is. Just feeling very capable that you can bring things into balance. Five of Swords in reverse. Yeah, appreciative. So this is just being very appreciative of what you've got, focusing on the good and ignoring the bad, exercising mindfulness, putting away the conflict, possibly even settling a legal matter this week, and just feeling very comfortable at home and in your own skin, Sagittarius male. So yeah, a really good reading overall for all my Sagittarians. And last but not least, we have our Aries. Oh gosh, my Aries males, Jesus. I've got the Brown Bear in reverse and the Spider Spirit in reverse as your overall energy for the week, Aries. This is really like a bear with a sore head. It's feeling really frazzled, really impatient. It's taking a break and maybe, you know, stepping out of certain scenarios. And it's almost sort of expecting your dreams to weave themselves without much effort. I feel that your intentions are maybe a little bit scattered, and I also feel there's a loss of hope here, and you're generally just pissed off and tired, and you're probably suffering from some headaches, or you just don't want the headache that this week looks to, you know, present. For my Aries females, you've got the Five of Wands. So this is the battling, the fighting, everyone, you know, clenched fists and punching. It's really pure disharmony. Nobody's getting on here. Everybody's bloody miserable. Nobody's got anything good to say about anybody else. There's a loss of hope here with my star in reverse. You could, my Aries female, be dealing with an Aquarian who's out of the picture. But this is just a loss of hope. Things aren't being healed here. And it is with regards to probably a commitment of some sort with the Hierophant here. A Hierophant can represent a number of, you know, it can be an institution, a college, a university, higher learning, a religious order. There's something that you've just lost hope in. You could have just lost hope with a Taurus or an Aquarian. And you're just taking a back seat, you're stepping out. Things have not gone to plan. Your dreams have not, you know, come into being. And you're feeling utterly pissed off about it and just want to go into your bear cave here and avoid all the angst. So that is exactly what you need to do this week for my Aries females. Go into the forest. There's Artemis here. Just look after yourself, look after your basic needs, and avoid the angst. Goodness gracious me, Aries males, I don't even know where to go with this because there's a number of individuals in this mix. This would really take a full reading, which I'm not doing. You've come through initially as the Hermit and the Chariot, which are completely disparate energies. You've got the Hermit who's, you know, gone within, going into withdrawal, going into his wee cave to learn something. He's, you know, self-evaluating, etc. And you've got the Chariot, which is, you know, aggression and horses pulling in different directions and speed. I mean, again, it kind of feels like this here. It's very torn energy. It's very scattered. It's really not knowing the best direction to take. As the Hermit, the energy is really positive. This is my Samaritan and a visionary, blimey. Refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore, and a capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others. A willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. So whoever this, if this is your energy, my Aries male as the Hermit, is absolutely lovely, but it could represent a Virgo that you're going to be dealing with this week. As I say, there's no way I can pull this together because I've also got a Knight of Wands in reverse here, who is my Fool, coming back to this Fool over here. And this is somebody who uses humour to wound rather than liberate. Is someone who, a denial of your emotional truth. Yeah, but you know, it is basically the Joker here, isn't it? But with the Knight of Wands in reverse, this is really, it's very hot-headed. It's very erratic. It's not really knowing what direction to go in. It's someone who can be quite spiteful, probably pretty jealous, but quite a mean speaker as well. And I asked what your connection was, because I'm assuming you're the Hermit here to this Knight of Wands, and I just got the Death in reverse. It's like you want this guy to go away, but he just won't go away. It's like a bad penny that keeps turning up. I've also got your Ace of Coins in reverse with the King of Wands. I think this is your own energy, Aries males. So there's something not getting off the ground here with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. You know, maybe a raise that you expected, a promotion, you know, an investment coming in, a new job, and a new start somewhere. It's not happening. It's not getting off the ground here. And I think it's because you maybe have some interference here, certainly from this Knight of Wands in this direction, who you're looking at. But over here, I say the Chariot could be a Cancer. You've also got a King of Swords in reverse. I mean, bloody hell. It's just like men around you causing absolute grief. So, you know, could be work colleagues or your father, your brothers, uncles. But there's men in the mix here that you're struggling with. The King of Swords in reverse is pretty abusive. A really mean speaker. He lacks tolerance. He's got no empathy. He can't see anyone else's point of view. He's quite narcissistic. And his archetypes have come through as someone who is a psychic vampire, a chronic complaining and codependency. They're also someone who takes advantage of those who actually need help. Yeah. So if I sort of see like I'm reading for like an older male here in my Hermes, this feels like, you know, daddy, grandpa. This literally could be your two boys here, and they're just complete arseholes, and they're not looking after you, and they're just making your life a bloody misery, and you're sitting here like, what the hell? What? how did I create this? You are dropping this burden, at least with this King of Swords. This burden's been dropped. So you may be able to cut this guy off in some way. But this Knight of Wands, he's the bad penny that keeps turning up. He's the guy who thinks he's funny, but he's just a prick, really. Sorry, my language is really bad, but I'm channeling someone here, and I'm getting really pissed off because look at my lovely Hermit guy here. He's a Samaritan. He's a visionary. He's an absolute sweetheart. He's all wisdom and grace, and he's surrounded by absolute idiots. Not good at all. So I'll come back to Artemis of the Forest. Maybe you just want to cut them all off, buy yourself a tent, get your supplies and a nice little gas stove, and disappear into the woods for a fortnight and just let them fend for themselves and fight it out amongst themselves. Okay, that's reading for fire. So that is all my signs up. I'll be moving on to the rest of the monthlies for December, January. I think I've got Taurus and Virgo to do